Welcome to the YRX Weekly Crypto Podcast, where we dive into engaging conversations with experts, thought leaders, and innovators. And I'm your host, Lianna. I'm happy to introduce our guest for today's podcast episode, Snax from PizzaDAO. Welcome, Snax.
Thanks for having me.
Today's episode is devoted to one of the most exciting events in the crypto community, Bitcoin Pizza Day. We're going to discuss its origins, its influence on how we perceive money, and what it means for the future, and much more. But before that, Snax, could you tell us about your professional background?
Yeah. So I've been in the blockchain industry since very early. I started paying attention to Bitcoin actually soon after our friend Laszlo bought his pizzas in 2010, and have been organizing community ever since. And then I also worked for a bit in marketing and analytics. Thought about becoming a scientist for a little bit, but eventually settled on building community, mostly, I would say, is my specialty.
Amazing. And, how did Bitcoin Pizza Day start? And why is it such a big deal for crypto?
So Bitcoin Pizza Day was on May 22nd in 2010, and it is the first time that anyone exchanged Bitcoin or anything in the real world, anything physical. And it actually took a few days for this guy to get his pizza who wanted to exchange Bitcoin for it. He put a post up on the forum Bitcoin Talk, and he said, "I have 10,000 Bitcoin and I would really like some pizza. Would anyone buy me some?" And so he had to wait a bit. And eventually someone stepped in. His name was Jeremy Sturdivant. He was a student, and he accepted the 10,000 Bitcoin, and then he ordered the pizza for Laszlo from his local Papa John's in Jacksonville, Florida.
That's crazy. And what's the deal with the value of those Bitcoins now? And what does it say about how crypto prices can swing?
So, at the time we're recording this podcast, right now, it is $63,000 per Bitcoin. So that puts the current value of those two pizzas that Laszlo bought at $630 million. Those are some expensive pizzas.
Wow. Those are definitely really expensive pizzas, and they better be good, How has the idea of spending a fortune on pizzas with Bitcoins shaped our understanding of value and currency?
I think that it really highlights first of all, the growth of Bitcoin, I think, it's hard to ignore when 10,000 Bitcoin only bought you two pizzas then, and it's now more than $500 million. I think it also makes people think about value in general, about what it means to store value in anything, be it dollars, be it commodities, be it gold, be it NFTs, right? Whatever it may be it a cryptocurrency. And so I think that's why people keep coming back to Bitcoin Pizza Day, because it's a really interesting moment in value.
Yeah, I see that, And are there any unique traditions or customs associated with celebrating Bitcoin Pizza Day in different parts of the world?
So we have been stitching together the world with PizzaDAO actually over the last few years, and we have meetings. So all over the world, there are people who celebrate Pizza Day, and we have been actually connecting them to each other now and calling it a global pizza party. So we've been building some global traditions, and now I think we're starting to develop some local traditions. So one example is that we stack the pizza boxes. This is something that our organization does. And for those listening, they may not know what PizzaDAO is. So it's a global pizza co-op, and we throw a lot of pizza parties, I'll start with. But I'll say we stack pizza boxes at the end of our events, these empty boxes. And one example, the group in Milan, a very fashionable city, did this very nice stack of their boxes where they're kind of like rotated, sort of like if you'll see at a fancy restaurant, they do with a pile of napkins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that trick where you stick your knuckle down in the middle of the napkins and you twirl and it makes a nice
little fan.
yeah. So their boxes look like that. I think we'll see if they bring that back this year. And then I think, and then we have the relationships with pizzerias that people build. So I think there come to be traditions where, the local communities come together, and it's maybe less about specific stuff like the fanning of the pizza boxes in Milan and more about the different communities that come together, the pizzerias that they work with, the locations that they keep coming back to, and knowing that you're going to see your local community every year, which I think is a really powerful thing when you're building a community.
Yeah, definitely. But, maybe we could, just take a step back. And so what led you to PizzaDAO in the first place?
From the very early days of my interest in Bitcoin, we were all talking about DAOs, and we didn't understand at the time that humans were the hands and feet of DAOs, and we would think of them as, like, we would talk about a self-owning taxi cab. But I think it's become clear now that even for Bitcoin and Ethereum, humans are kind of the actual hands and feet of these systems. So I was thinking for a long time about how to apply blockchain to communities, how to improve neighborhoods, because I'm a community organizer. I run a Facebook group actually in South Philly, where I live, Philadelphia, and it has 14,000 people in it today. So I know a lot of my local community, a lot of the businesses, and I really care about my community. And so I watched as the businesses just suffered going through the pandemic. And many closed that were really beloved local businesses. And I just wanted to figure a way to apply our blockchain tech to solve problems in communities where maybe businesses aren't properly supported financially by the existing systems. So this led me down a rabbit hole where I would talk about building blockchain accounting systems and on-chain tooling so that local businesses could be compliant and community owned. And this was not the most obvious idea to people. So I eventually kind of combined that with the idea of pizza as this meme, because pizza is the most popular food in the known universe. And that became PizzaDAO, the idea for PizzaDAO.
Wow. And this is your fourth year, if I'm not mistaken?
This is our fourth global pizza party. Yeah.
Wow. And so can you tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing year on year?
Yeah. So the first year, we actually couldn't throw parties because it was the middle of the pandemic. So people were not getting together. We went directly to pizzerias and we gave them $625 and we said, give away $500 worth of pizza to your community and tip your staff $125. And we did this with 300 some pizzerias all over the world. And it was amazing. We supported them in the depths of the pandemic, and they got to give back to their communities at the same time. And it was this really joyous experience. We have this video of all the footage and photos from that year. So amazing. And then the next year, the pandemic started to loosen up and we got to throw some more events. And so we started to bring together more of the crypto community around the world. And then last year in 2023, we really leaned into that and we went a lot bigger, and we actually threw parties in 116 cities, like pretty large parties. One of them had 300 people came out in Buenos Aires, and there are hundreds of people elsewhere. 3 people came to the party in Billings, Montana. That was our smallest party. But so then this year, we just want to make the party bigger every year, and we want to be in more places. So we're looking at well over 150 cities right now that have signed up.
Wow. I mean, 150 cities, organizing that is an incredible feat. How do you do it?
It is really a combination of Google Sheets, Telegram, and Figma. I would say those are our top 3 tools. Google Sheets, where we have this very large sheet. You can look at it. Anyone who's listening, parties.pizzadao.xyz. And this has every city that we're working with. And it has columns with all the details and a link to a Telegram chat. That's where Telegram comes in. That is where we bring together our communities in every city to plan the events. And then we have this design template in Figma that makes it really easy for our local hosts to adapt our graphics to make their party. Also, wow. Google Slides helps. We do additionally. So we offer these local hosts the offer from PizzaDAO, and we think it's an offer they can't refuse. We always joke about with mafia tropes because of there's this book Snow Crash. It's really important to us. It's like this book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for the listeners, this is the book that kind of established the term metaverse. And in the book, there is this really powerful organization. It's kind of the mafia, but they run a chain of pizzerias. And so we play with that lore a lot. So anyway, our offer to a local host is that we have $625 from PizzaDAO, and we have this really nice partner menu that they can use to get a local organization to cover the drinks. And it works really, really well. And the nice thing about it is that $625, it's enough money to throw a small party pretty well. You can get pizza and drinks for about 30 people in most places on Earth. But as your party gets a little bigger, maybe there are 50 people, 60 people, 70 people, $625 is just not going to cut it. So our local hosts are forced to go out there and build partnerships with local companies and organizations to help fund their events. And the good thing about that is that those relationships maintain after Pizza Day. So we build this sustainable local community in how we put together the event.
Yeah, it's global yet local, right? And, I think about PizzaDAO the same way as Bitcoin Pizza Day, because that day was the first day there was a real world use case, right? Using Bitcoin, and here you are, with real world impact, with pizza parties.
Yeah, and it seems really simple, and it is in a way, but I think we've also gotten really good at doing what we do, and it's not that simple in terms of the knowledge and the know-how that we have accumulated. The institutional pizza party knowledge of PizzaDAO is quite deep now.
That's amazing. And what would be one of your one of the memories that stood out for you, throughout your journey?
Oh, there are so many memories. I mean, the first year I remember as the photos started to come in from Asia, and I was sitting in Philadelphia, and we have been working so hard because keep in mind, our organization started in February 2021, February 18th. We really kicked off our community, and we threw a global pizza party on May 22nd. So that's 3 months, and we deployed $300,000. So I just remember after this incredible sprint of a community, sitting back and watching as the whole world started to enjoy pizza because of us, and the feeling was incredible. And then since, last year, I'll never forget, I was watching the Global Pizza Party Zoom, and Berlin and Vienna, they had their parties at the same time, and they were stacking pizza boxes, which is our tradition. And they were competing and looking at the Zoom at the other city to see who could have the higher stack of pizza boxes. And I was just cracking up. Oh man, if I could talk about memories for so long. We've met so many people, and just, it's been a phenomenal journey.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and I really love the whole pizza box stacking, right? Like you should definitely make that into a competition, between the cities. That'll be really funny. And what's in the future for PizzaDAO?
So people think, oh, PizzaDAO, it's a pizza party, it's fun, they're kind of silly, and we are, but actually there is something real here, and that is that we're building a global pizza network, a global co-op, and as we build this global network of independent pizzerias and we align them together, we can build products and services for this industry, and we will bring them the economies of scale that have historically only been enjoyed by large franchise chain types of operations. So we think that the technology of DAOs, the idea of alignment that you can accomplish with these tokens across borders, across businesses, across people, is the tool to accomplish the alignment of independent pizzerias that people in the pizza industry have been talking about for decades. But it's not an easy thing to accomplish.
Yeah, it sounds like a real journey, right? Changing the world, one pizza at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like that for us. We say we have so many maxims about pizza like that, every pizza it's community in a box, right? Because what are you going to eat that whole pie yourself? No shame if you do, but there's plenty to share.
Well, I can usually eat one whole pizza box to myself. I'm not sure about anyone else. I love my pizzas. What's your favorite topping?
For me, it's pepperoni. And it's funny you ask, because this is the first question we ask people when they join PizzaDAO. We ask, what's your favorite topping? What's yours?
Mine is mushroom and chili.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, mushroom is, people who don't like mushrooms don't know that mushroom is a really popular topping.
It's the yummest, and especially if you've got some chili flakes or fresh chilies with it, it's gorgeous. Absolutely delicious for me.
So the second question we ask we call them pizza trainees, is what's your favorite mafia movie?
Whoa, mafia movie. Wow.
I hit you with a hard one. I didn't prepare you for this.
Godfather?
Okay, that's an easy choice. So now what we do is we take The Godfather and we take your favorite topping and we combine them to create your pizza mafia name.
Oh, wow. So The Godfather, mushroom.
So, you could be, maybe you're a mushroom Coppola.
I love it. That is too funny. Yeah, mushroom Coppola. That sounds good, Yeah, and what can we expect with the event this year? Besides 150 cities, what else can we expect?
So if you're listening to this, then, and it's before May 22nd, there is very likely an event near you, and you are invited. You can go to globalpizzaparty.xyz, and there is a long list of our cities around the world, and you can find your local event. If there isn't a local event listed, you can come to our Discord and complain, and maybe we'll buy you pizza anyway.
Bribing people with pizzas.
It works.
I know it. Pizza's like everything, right? Is there anything else you'd like to add, Snax, that we didn't cover maybe?
I just hope everyone continues to build this global community around the blockchain, around the internet, and sometimes around pizza too, because there's a lot of work for us to do here on planet Earth. Let's get to it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Snax, for being part of today's discussion and sharing your expertise with us.
My pleasure.
And to all our fantastic listeners, I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. Don't forget to express your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing this episode. Thank you for tuning in, and until we meet again, stay well.